Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
For the first time in 3.5 years, Jeremiah Peacemaker is a free man. Late Tuesday night, a 12-member jury in Watertown found him not guilty of first-degree murder. He was the main suspect in the death of Kendra Owen. Her decapitated body was found in her apartment September 2nd, 2020. She had also been stabbed 16 times.
The murder weapon was never found. Defense attorneys tell KELOLAND News the investigation was flawed and Kendra Owen's family is still waiting for justice. Attorney General Marty Jackley says he accepts the jury's verdict and felt they had built a good case against Peacemaker. A Rapid City man admits bringing enough fentanyl into western South Dakota to kill hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions.
37-year-old Corey Croyle has signed documents saying he plans to plead guilty to a federal drug charge. According to the documents, he obtained large amounts of quantity, sometimes from Colorado. He then brought the drugs back to South Dakota to sell, primarily in the Rapid City area.
Court documents do not include a specific amount, only that Croyle and at least one other person distributed somewhere from just under a pound to 2.5 pounds of fentanyl. According to a plea deal, when he's sentenced, Croyle faces anywhere from 10 years behind bars to life in prison.
Firefighters from multiple departments were called to help battle a grass fire south of Rapid City yesterday. The Rockerville Volunteer Fire Department says it happened on Highway 79 near Spring Creek Road. Crews arriving on scene found a small grass fire burning along the highway. Officials shared these pictures of the scene.
Flames could be seen along the fence. Authorities say winds pushed the fire toward Spring Creek Road. The fire was held to the area northwest of the intersection. The South Dakota Highway Patrol and Pennington County Sheriff's Office helped with traffic on the highway. Now let's get a check on our weather with meteorologist Scott Munt. Cooling off today, Scott?
Yes, it is. In fact, today we may have a couple of areas that are below average for the first time this month. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s for afternoon highs as we do take a look at that forecast for today. A high of 44 in Sioux Falls. That's still a couple of degrees above average. 38 in Aberdeen, 37 today in Pierre, and 36 in Rapid City. You know, we've started with a couple of snow showers here and there. Accumulations approaching an inch for some. Brian will have more details on your forecast coming up.
Thank you, Scott. The South Dakota Democratic Party has announced that Cheryl Johnson will run against Republican Congressman Dusty Johnson for the state's lone seat in the U.S. House of Representatives.
The Democratic candidate says that if she's elected, she'll be willing to find a middle ground with representatives that disagree with her.
Integrity, honesty, and the ability to listen and learn is vital for any elected official. You always need to keep an open mind and listen why someone has a different opinion, and then be open to changing your position and finding a compromise if needed.
Cheryl Johnson hopes to focus on education and immigration reform. She ran for South Dakota State Senate in 2022 and for the State House in 2018 and 2020. A department store that Sioux Falls has been waiting on for 5 years officially opened its doors.
Hundreds of people lined up outside of Dillard's for their grand opening, excited to enter the store. The first 300 people in line received swag bags, which enticed people to get there early.
We knew we would have a few people in line, but the crowd that showed up, it was amazing to have that level of excitement waiting for our doors to open.
Along with the swag bags, there was music, cupcakes, and a member of the Dillard's family was welcoming people to the store. The grand opening festivities will keep happening through Sunday. The Summit League is making the move to the Premier Center.
Staff spent Wednesday morning making the temporary move from their headquarters at the Sanford Sports Complex to the Premier Center for the Summit League Basketball Championships. The assignment is simple on paper.
Not forgetting anything, making sure that we pick everything up because we, do this annually, so things get put in the storage unit for a year, so making sure we get everything over there. And then there's so many different entities to organize between hotels and our printing partner and the Premier Center, so just getting everyone on the same page and ready to go.
The Summit League Basketball Championships tip off tomorrow. The women's game featuring Kansas City and Omaha begins at 4:30 p.m., followed by the Oral Roberts and USD men at 7. You can follow all the tournament action on the Summit League page on KELOLAND.com.
That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, on radar this morning, we've had some areas of snow, and we're going to continue to track some of those patches and little streaks of snow here early this morning. A lot of that should tend to dissipate, though, as we head into the afternoon. And what we're left over with is basically below normal temperatures for some of us today. A lot of 30s, there'll be a few 40s in the southeast. Now, in the next 24 hours, there's going to be kind of a regrouping process occurring in western Nebraska. Notice the snow that's developing. There are winter storm warnings that far south. Rain into southern portions of Nebraska, northern Kansas. Eventually, we tie this up with low pressure in northern Missouri and run some rain through much of Iowa. There may be a little mixed precip on the northern fringe of that. Most of these talking points are just basically grazing southern Kettleland, but of course we'll continue to watch any developments there that might make some subtle changes to the north, but that's kind of the general thinking. And then tomorrow, we're into this north wind. I think Sioux Falls will drag those temperatures down only in the low 40s. Not bitterly cold, but it's definitely cooler as a result of all of that. And then we'll turn the page into the weekend. Dry skies. I think we're off and running into a warming trend, and that's going to set the tone for early next week. Here are more particulars about the weather today. You can see that band of clouds thickest in southern Kettleland, and then as we look at northeastern Nebraska, northwest Iowa, there's also a little more clearing that direction. So again, Sioux Falls fits in the middle ground there in the mid-40s. I do expect tonight the snow in Nebraska. You can see a little of the dots of green representing the rain, primarily just to our south. And I think for tomorrow, Aberdeen and Pierre will have another pretty cool day, but really for the most part, it's not looking too eventful here, and we'll likely see the continuation there going into Saturday. Highs today, close to 50 in Yankton, upper 30s in Aberdeen, and also in Pierre, 36 degrees Rapid City. Lows tonight, down to about 24 Sioux Falls, 20 degrees in Pierre, 21 in Rapid City. And then tomorrow, with that push of drier air coming in from the north, I do expect Mobridge and Pierre to be in the low 40s. And where we have those north winds in Sioux Falls, 15 to 30. It'll feel chilly at 42. How about that 7-day? No mention of storms right now. Looks like just plain mild, spring-like weather next week. Mid to upper 60s, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And that's basically what you need to know there. Aberdeen, northeast South Dakota, same general trend here, back in the 50s for the weekend. I think by the time we get to Tuesday and Wednesday, 60-degree weather. There could be some chances of moisture by the end of the 7-day forecast. I'm up for pushing that off maybe a day, but at any rate, it looks like the weather leading into that pattern, very mild. Those 50s and 60s, very common. Rapid City, you guessed it, 60-degree weather early next week. Check out details online at kettleland.com.